Welcome back, everybody. Kyle Bazzi here, president at Benzinga.com. With the Benzinga Fintech Awards, we're looking for the most innovative companies, products, and people. And I think we got a good one coming up next to help you make and save money. Right now, we have InvestCloud and CEO and co-founder John Wise. John, what's going on?
Hey, Carl. Lots of interesting developments in our life. We've been snowballed. It's that time of year. We've inundated with requests. We now officially call ourselves order takers, which is always a good place to be in life.
But I agree. Now, you got an impressive resume. For everybody that doesn't know, let's go over the basics of what InvestCloud is and what you guys do.
Sure, absolutely. So our primary focus is the financial markets, and we look at money managers, and our mission statement is that we believe that any money manager can have access to a first-class integrated platform through the cloud with InvestCloud. So, our primary movement is taking companies from an enterprise installed base to a cloud installed base, and so that they can sort of have huge leverage versus individual deploys. And our client base is like, we pay them. We've got lots of online testimonials that say how fantastic we are. That's largely because we're so fast to market with providing functionality, because we actually deploy it through the cloud. But there's also interesting ways in which we approach stuff. So, our main innovation here is that we have a technology called PWP, Programs Writing Programs. This enables us to use business analysts to actually understand the business, to generate code and generate deployments. And the fact that we can generate through multiple devices, whether it's OS 8s, Android, browsers, etc. So we are also future-proofed. The other thing that we do, because of PWP, Programs Writing Programs, is that the whole user experience can be unique to everybody. So not one of our clients, unlike a lot of other cloud providers, like classic Facebook. Facebook is the same for everyone, regardless of who you are. This is different. This is where our clients, our money manager friends, can actually have their own personality coming through on each site that they log on to, so they can be different things to different people. So it's not the old-fashioned one-size-fits-all approach.
All right, we're going to dive a little bit more into that, and specifically the problem that you found and now the solution you guys are providing. Give us some background on the company too. Where are you guys located at? How many employees? Things like that.
Sure. Yeah, so we're about 100 people. We started being English. My lifelong passion was to start a company in a garage in California. So I literally did that in this company. This is my 8th company. We started off Los Angeles. We opened an office in the Ferry Building in San Francisco. We've got a factory, as we call it, in Tampa, where we do a lot of customizations. We've got a sales office in New York, a research arm in Toronto, where we do large-scale, complex big data aggregation. And we just very, very recently opened an office in London. So that's pretty much where we are today. We started in 2010. We took on our first clients to our system in January 2012. We now have over 600 clients, 1.2 trillion of assets, 100,000 logons every week. So just give you a bit of the scale that we've experienced.
Wow, that's some quick scale, and we won't let the accent confuse us. We know that you are in the United States now. All right, cool. So now we got a good foundation of what InvestCloud is. Let's start diving into it. What problem did you see when you guys started this? And talk specifically about why the cloud's so important for just the cost structure of people like money managers around the country.
Yeah, well, yeah, great question. So originally, the previous company that I ran was a company called Netic. Netic was sold to the Bank of New York, and when I was at Bank of New York, we did some interesting research into typical money managers and how many systems they have. And basically, if you get to about 35 billion of assets, you end up on average having about 37 different systems. The problem with the 37 different systems, they're very poorly integrated. And what we found is that the integration problem of all these various systems, whether it's a CRM system, order management system, an execution system, an accounting engine, a risk system, performance system. There's so many systems, it's like ridiculous. And unfortunately, because these systems aren't properly integrated, people use a ton of Excel to hide operational efficiencies. Now, the problem with Excel, as we all know, it's very flexible, but it's easy to have errors, and you'll never know that they are there. And our clients have this, what I used to call the paper chase, where, moving around different systems. We have all the information, but it's absolutely everywhere and not in one place. So, we had this view, if we build this in the cloud, all in one place, and have a single point of access, control, and entry, we can actually have an integrated view, and that's exactly what we have done. Our little expressions are, all roads lead to Rome, but Rome wasn't built in a day. So what we do, we slowly move those enterprise systems functionality into the cloud. So it's an evolution for our clients. Our most troubled side is, with any implementation, is the client's data. It's usually incredibly messy. So some clients, we have one client who said, we started the process, we scored their data, they realized it was horrific. And they said, can we have a break for a year so we can tidy up our data and then come to the cloud? So, it's not easy for everybody, but, in the main, it's a very quick process as long as your data is relatively clean.
All right, let's talk about why bringing the cloud to the finance industry as a whole is important. Fintech wasn't really a sexy word until a couple of years ago. Now there's a lot of money flowing in from venture capital and other areas. But why bringing the cloud to the finance world? Why was it even a problem before? And specifically, let's talk about the cost savings that the money managers have, but it's funneling all the way down to the retail as you guys are kind of bringing that structural cost, or at least shrinking that structural cost for the money managers.
Yeah, well, the number one reduction is that the cost of implementing the software is like a third, and also because we're pre-wired and it's annuity based, we've reduced even the license down to a third. So we claim it's actually a third of the cost of doing an enterprise install. So for the money manager's point of view, it's like massively good news. However, also from a client's point of view, their clients, the interaction of data with data is so much more mobile now, whether you've got your phablet, tablet, iPhone, or browser, seeing data like that and having much better and more open, transparent communication to the client is infinitely better. And it's all about these days holding your client's attention, particularly as we go from the Gen X, Gen Y, millenniums, and all those sort of movements in the market. That demand to be online is really high. So we have so many clients coming out with robo-hybrid solutions for their end users, and it's going to be very disruptive. And the old wirehouses are incredibly behind the eight ball on this particular one. And obviously you've seen other companies such as Betterment and Personal Capital do very well in this sector. We believe that everyone can be robo. So with our products, you might be a money manager and decide to be robo within 2 months. And then suddenly you are competing in that same market. So in the next year, we have a number of clients who are going to come through as robo and hybrid advisors. So it's also shrinking that gap between knowledge. We even have a client who's coming up with a social responsible way of actually saving money for our systems, which I think is like just absolutely fantastic. And obviously InvestCloud is the power behind all of those things, but at the end of the day, our end clients are bringing this to the market.
All right, John, I don't know if it's your accent or what, but that idea sounds sexy. What is, bringing the individuals to be robos, and now they can kind of compete with these huge companies that we know are just raising amazing amounts of venture capital money right now. How does it change the landscape if every single money manager now can compete on that level and kind of pulling them out from the archaic ways of doing business?
Yeah, well, it just becomes a very flattened market. I mean, the pioneers often aren't the people who actually end up with the biggest catchment area. I believe personally robos will fall off a little bit because people with real money, they want to talk to someone. So, you're going to have this hybrid play where basically it has the same functionality as a robo, so I can be robo in my way through life. But if I want to talk to someone, there is actually somebody there who will come around and see me. And I think a lot of our managers are going exactly that way, that they don't want to lose out to the robo, but they want that same functionality. So people like me as a classic person. I'm very tech savvy. I'm 52. I have some money. I can invest, but I want to talk to people as well. So I think that middle gauge is going to be really interesting. But there will be always a room for pure robos. There's no way that's not going away. That is here to stay. And I think the good news is some of our very established clients are going to play very nicely in that area. And with InvestCloud, it's like a fraction of the cost because we've already built robo. So it's now just a question of white labeling, branding. Because of PWP, programs writing programs, everyone can have their own look and feel out there. So they're not me too. So it can be different from Betterment to Personal Capital, etc. as we go. And we've got some very interesting developments, particularly with one of our clients, which I'm happy to say is Marshstone. They're bringing out their robo this year. Fantastic development by them, and they're very design orientated and done some very unique designs themselves for that particular market.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. It was great learning about InvestCloud, but give us a 30-second elevator pitch. The Benzinga Fintech Awards, we're trying to find people and companies and products that are working to change the environment to help us make and save money. What's your pitch?
Yeah, so my pitch is that historically programmers are the root of all evil. I'm a programmer myself. They take a lot of time to do anything. Programming is really hard work. You can have hundreds of people offshore working on it. We have PWP programs, writing programs, a business analyst. Our big robo platform from Marshstone was actually built from a guy who used to sell shoes. That was his previous job. He came into it. He's built these beautiful things. We have economics graduates building amazing pieces of financial technology, and some old school product guys who now use our technology as well. PWP, we are very unique, and that's why we deserve to win this award.
All right, John, thanks for joining today. Great stuff.
Thanks, Carl.
All right, everybody, that is John Wise, CEO and co-founder of InvestCloud. Go to Benzinga Fintech Awards to vote for them and also see the 110 other companies trying to change the world to help you make and save money. Until next time, this is Kyle Bazzi, president here at Benzinga.com. Thanks.